Ethiopian coffee. Lovely first crack on that coffee, very prominent. Hi guys, Simon here from Hot Numbers, and I'm here today to demystify the coffee roasting process for you. I'm going to take you through how we get from green bean to a lovely bag of coffee. So here we go. So we're going to start with dropping the green beans into the hopper. This is the start of the roast process. Some lovely, in this case, we've got some Ethiopia coffee that we're going to drop into the drum. Ethiopia washed coffee. So this is a Giesen coffee roaster. The capacity is 15 kilos, so in theory we can do 15 kilos every single roast that we do. We choose to do about 12 at the moment, so we go under capacity just so that we get a better quality of coffee. We get a better roast from it. We get a more consistent colour, therefore it's better to put less in. So, known throughout the industry for solid coffee roasting. We choose this machine just because we love solid engineering. So, yep. It's a cast iron traditional drum roaster, but a high quality one at that. So the roast we've dropped the green coffee in here. The roast is going to go on for about 10 to 12 minutes, depending on what coffee we use. In this case, this will be about 10 minutes on this roast, and we're dropping at 203 degrees on this roast. So yeah, that's giving us some nice flavours, and it's all being controlled by the computer. We intercept if we need to, but we get consistency on every roast. So most importantly, we have control of that. As you can see, the green beans are tumbling around in the drum. We have a sample spoon here to catch them as they're roasting, so we can monitor the colour of the roast if we need to. Quite often we know what's going to happen there, and the end temperature determines the stability of the roast, really. The end temperature determines the final colour and gives us consistency. After this time, we're going to drop the coffee into the hopper, and that's going to cool the coffee down very fast so that the coffee stops roasting and it doesn't bake. So most importantly, we want to preserve those flavours, and that's going to happen in here. So when we roast coffee, we put a lot of heat in at the start of the roast, and then we tail that off during the roast. So we have a roast curve. We drop the beans in, and it cools the drum. And then we want to heat that coffee up as fast as we can at the start. And then we gradually reduce the heat throughout the roast until we come to the point called the first crack. And that's where the coffee bean will break open and actually release some gas. So you'll hear a popping sound like popcorn, and that's quite critical, and that happens at a certain time. Then we hit our end temperature at the end. So suppliers are really important to us. We have John from the Green Coffee Collective, who we work with. Really great guy, comes in and fantastic coffees here that we're proud to serve up with a great story behind them. And he comes directly in. As Coffee Bird, they're from Guatemala, a lovely family business, and we work with Marta there and her family to serve up some lovely coffees, and their coffee sets are lovely as well. And we also work with Falcon, who are a great company to deal with. We get a lot of their coffee. Mike there sorts us out, Mike Riley, with some really lovely coffees that we're very proud to serve up, and they work with farms very strongly to provide a great service. So we're really fortunate to get such good people supplying green coffee, which is ultimately what gives us the tools to actually be able to roast a lovely coffee. So thank you to all of you great suppliers doing a great work with all the farmers out there. It's appreciated by everyone, us, farmers, and yeah, without you, how would we get that coffee in the cup? So thank you. 190, we're at 190 at the moment, 190 degrees. Coming up to first crack, that's where we can hear the coffee bean expand. It will actually break apart and the gas will be released, and that's called first crack. If that doesn't happen, we have a problem. So we need to make sure we put enough energy into that bean to allow that to happen, to make your coffee taste good. It goes then from an endothermic reaction, getting quite technical here, where the heat will go into the coffee bean, and then at that point it becomes exothermic. So the coffee bean itself will be giving off a lot of energy. That's when we reduce the heat into the roast, just a little bit. We keep it roasting, but we take a bit of that heat. It's doing that automatically, thank God. So, yeah, we're controlling the whole process, and we're going to hit 203 degrees today to release this coffee. So I'm just monitoring the screen to make sure we do that. So I can hear that coffee. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera, but it's popping nicely, and it's got a nice colour there. You can really hear that actually. I don't know if my microphone picks that up, but yeah, and it's smelling lovely. So, yep. Most importantly, I'm starting the cooling drum and the rotating arm here so that we're actually going to cool and mix that coffee. So and that's just cooling now. It's sucking the air through the coffee beans as it's mixing them. Cooling that coffee, stopping those baked flavours from happening. We're putting the heat in pretty fast, not too fast, and we're cooling it so that we get some exciting coffees going on. We want to retain the acidity in the coffee. We don't want too much bitterness. We hit middle of the road. We go for a nice medium roast, and we're always tasting the coffee to make sure it tastes good. That's part of what we do. So we try roasts at different profiles. They're called profiles, so we roast at different temperatures, different times, find out what tastes best for that particular coffee, and that's the profile. We're going to set that on there so we get repetition and consistency from the coffee. So this is a destoner. So what this does is it actually takes out any foreign objects that might be in the coffee. Hopefully we don't get many in there, but coffee's dried on a patio bed quite often, and there might be little stones present, which shouldn't be there in specialty coffee, but sometimes you get some. So this just ensures consistency and quality, because it'd be a bit embarrassing if you get a stone in your coffee, which we want to try and avoid. So basically just a glorified vacuum cleaner. What that will do is suck up your coffee, which is lighter than the stone, leaving the stone at the bottom. So now we're going to drop the coffee from the cooling tray into the destoner and let it do its thing. It's a bit loud, so. And this is the final stage of the coffee process, of the roast process, where we drop the coffee out of the destoner into the container. So we store that coffee. So we store that coffee in tubs, keep it fresh. It's going to be a lot. So I hope I've demystified the coffee roasting process for you. Here's our green coffee stock. And our roasted stock. So hope you enjoy these lovely coffees at home, and hot numbers.